Welcome to the Loveland Report. I am Cleve Loveland alongside the LoanArranger. We bring you all your real estate and mortgage news, and we've got some good numbers in from the Board of Realtors, and Bruce is going to update us on what interest rates are doing, what's going on in this market, and it's still a seller's market, Bruce. But inventory did pop up. We went to about 6,500 homes for sale. We haven't had that many homes for sale probably in 7 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And the number of sales is down slightly, down about 20%. Actually, it's a big drop, but it's down. But we're still got a good, healthy month of sales. But I think we're going to get more inventory, and I don't think we'll lose our seller's market. But it's going to turn. Now, here's the interesting.
Well, it's already shifting things a little bit more attractive for the buyer.
It is. They got a lot more to look at. I'm getting closing costs. We're getting a little bit off list price. And as a seller, you've got to be priced correctly. I'm going into so many neighborhoods, Bruce, and there'd be one or two homes maybe active, and they'd go under contract by the time we got the pictures taken, got our listing active. And now there's 5 homes for sale, 6 homes for sale, but they're all 10% above where they should be.
Right.
So pricing is important. Market position is very important. I just had one last week. I got multiple offers. I sold 5% over list.
Well, I've got one right now where a client is supposed to close at the end of this month. It's contingent upon the sale of her home, and she's had no offers on it, and it's been on the market for over a month. I'm trying to get that one over to you. I don't know what this real estate agent's doing. It's driving me absolutely crazy. But he made it contingent on the sale of that house, but the contract was weird, and he's picking up both sides of the transaction. I'm really trying to get that over to you.
Well, everybody's situation is different, but the main thing to look at is where are we when you go to sell. I already got our house being finished. The builder's going to finish the house up in 4 months, so we want to put your house on about 60 days before that's done. We can lay all these things out, or you have to have your money in your pocket. I'm still getting lease backs for people. I just got a 2-month lease back on a house in Claremont, and the seller actually went and found their home, and they're actually going to be out in 30 days, but they had that luxury of shopping. They had their briefcase full of cash,
right? And
they went out and got themselves a great house, reduced their overall expenses, their downsizing, and got closer to an area they wanted to be in. So every situation is different, but what's important is that you call me at 407-352-8118. Let me know what your real estate dreams or situation is, and what you need, what problem you need solved, and we will do that. And you do the same thing on the financing.
Absolutely. You can always call the LoanArranger at 407-250-9144 or go to my website at webringyouhome.com. Now, Cleve, here's the thing too. I run into these situations where somebody says, "Oh, I've got my home on the market. It's been on the market for over a month, and I've had, some people look at it, but no offers." What does that generally tell the consumer? What's the bottom line on that typically?
Well, you got to look at a couple things. Not always price. I mean, price could be it, but if you're not getting normal market, Bruce, I get about 10, 12 showings, I get an offer. Now, right. I don't want those 10, 12 showings to come over 2 months. That's slow. I'm looking for about 4, 5, 6 realtors a week. And what was happening the past 2 years is we get 6 or 10 in a day.
Absolutely.
And then have 3 offers from those 10 that came through. And then it was a vicious cycle that started. So we're coming out of that now, but it's still a great time to buy. And even though rates, where are we at, around 5.5?
Yeah, you're in the mid-5s right now.
So you're going to refinance them in 6 months or 18 months down the line.
Anyway, sometime between the next 6 months and the next 36 months, we'll all be refinancing homes.
And so, but you got into the house, because one thing I'm already seeing it on stats. You showed me some pricing stats, and our median price was actually down 1% to 440.
1.6%.
What was it, 440 from 417 or something like that?
Is that cause for a fire sale?
No. But all those people that sold their homes still made money, unless they bought them last month, which is doubtful. So median price is, month over month, down 1%, but that just means less homes sold. Less homes sold at the higher end on that. So our prices are still going to rise in Central Florida. The builders don't have 40 homes sitting there unfinished, waiting for people to buy them. Our population is still growing. We've got an attractive state compared to the rest of the country. These rates have kind of leveled off, and 5.5 is still a good rate.
It's not bad, but when it gets better, we'll refinance. But here's the thing right now. I look at that, and I still hear a lot of people saying, you know what, I'm going to sit back for a little bit and wait. So although we saw a 1% decrease in value from June to July, then let's talk about how much are houses up from July of last year to July of this year. What's that number look like? You know what it is? 20.1%.
Yeah.
So they're up 20.1%. You saw a little bit of a drop in 1 month. A little bit of a drop in 1 month is not going to make the market's not crashing.
I got a talking head here with an article from Fox Business talking about how, it's a good play for buyers and sellers to wait. Well, seller, depends on your situation. Buyers, get in now.
Never wait.
The price will be 10, 15% higher a year, 18 months from now. And you just got to get into something. Now, if you're a seller, and I have talked to some sellers. I had one seller, he wanted to sell, just wanted to get rid of this house. He'd already moved to his parents' home that he wanted. It was bigger, had more land. And the house he was going to sell was his parents' home. And I said, well, why don't we just rent it for 2 years? Because it's still got your homestead on it.
Right.
Got 2 years to do that and make some money on it. I said, because he had a mortgage on it still. And he was going to make like $50,000. But if we waited, I did the numbers on slow appreciation. I did the numbers on like 5% appreciation. And the amount his mortgage would go down over a year or two, he was going to almost double his money from $50,000 to $75,000 and then $100,000. So there's all these things that come into play, and he's also going to cash flow. He's also going to have a nice tax write-off. So these are the things I lay out for people, and you can give me a call at 407-352-8118. And chances are, remember, one of those rooftops on your street, I probably helped sell it, buy it, or manage it.
Yep, and if you have questions for the loan arranger, you'd like to apply for a mortgage, you have a friend or family member that's currently renting, let me just put this in perspective, Cleve, and nobody knows it better than you. Right now, an average 2-bedroom, 2-bath home in the Orlando area will rent for between $2,000 and $2,100 a month. Now, let's put this in perspective. That is $25,000 per year. How much of that goes into your equity bank if you're renting? None. Okay? None. Zero. You have nothing to show for it whatsoever. Even if houses only went up 5%, only at 5%, we're on track for 15 to 20 right now, but 5%. You buy a $400,000 house, it goes up by $20,000. And that's at 5. It goes up by 10%.
Yep.
You made 40.
Yep.
Goes up by 15%. You could make $60,000.
And this is what is important. It's the first step towards building wealth. Not many people can walk in and say, all right, I've got my first job. I'm going to go in and see my financial planner.
Right.
And most of them are going to not want to see you because you haven't got a portfolio to manage. But I can tell you, you and I can tell you at our buyer seminars, we do it all the time. Here's how you build a savings account.
All the time.
The house is the first part. Max your 401k. We go through all these things with you. But the real estate will pay for itself once you buy one. And then 2 years later, hey, let's put you in another house that you buy as your primary, and let's rent the old one. And let's do that again and do that 4 or 5 times over 10 years. And you've got a real estate portfolio in 15, 20 years.
Oh, you retire with a ton of money,
yep.
ton of equity, and you can pass that on to your children, to your grandchildren, and you can live comfortably for the rest of your life. If you don't want to retire on Social Security income alone, you must build a portfolio. There's not a lot of us that are going to have a pension. I don't have a pension coming to me my way. and I don't know if Social Security is going to be enough for me to even pay my fuel bill in my boat, let alone live off of. So I need a way to support my family and go into retirement knowing that all the bills are going to be paid. The best way to do that is with real estate. I made 2 giant financial mistakes in real estate. One of them, I didn't buy enough properties in 2010. The other one, I sold too many properties.
That's a market
in
timing. But I think in general, I wish I would have kept my first couple homes because of what I know now. But I know what works and what doesn't. And it's funny, I'm still seeing, I have people, every once in a while, I hear somebody ask about foreclosures. Oh, where's the wave of COVID foreclosures? Yep. Well, last month in Central Florida, I think there was 4 foreclosures that sold in all of Central Florida.
The whole of Central Florida.
And one short sale, stuff like that. It's crazy to try and find those. But and you look at what Wall Street's doing, Wall Street's still out there. They're trying to own the residential homes, just like Wall Street owns most of the apartment complexes. And that's important. You get into that. You've got them buying up. They're not in, there's no billboards in South Florida. I just came back from vacation, and there's no billboards down there saying, hey, we'll buy your house for cash.
No.
So by the big Wall Street companies.
Well, and the ones that do are the ones that are getting fined right now. I mean, I won't name any Open Door names, but if you look at the news, Open Door just got fined, was it $62 or $63 million for deceptive practices?
Yeah, saying that we'll sell for more, we'll get you more.
We'll get you more than a traditional real estate. False. Yep. Okay, they don't charge any fees or commission. False. Yep. Okay, everything about it. But here's the thing. People are sucked in by these great commercials. and they draw people in. And when you buy into that, you're just going to get suckered. You could get more for your home by hiring a traditional real estate agent that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Not somebody that's going to put a sign in the yard and pray that somebody like Cleve or one of his buyer's agents comes around and sells it. You've got to hire the right people. Hire Cleve Loveland and his team to help you sell your home. How do they reach you, Cleve?
407-352-8118 or lovelandreport.com, Bruce. And I see a lot of things happening right now. I think we're moving back towards that normal market we had. We had about a 3-month supply of inventory. We had normal sales, and I think we're just going to be in that. We've been in a seller's market for 12 years. And I think it's going to turn around.
We had a 3-week supply of inventory? Are you talking about what we
No, I'm saying that's what we had. Yeah, we had less than 3 weeks. But no, we're a normal market for 5 years. We were sitting about a 3-month supply with steady appreciation. Nobody was getting burned. People that bought their house 3 years early had to move for a relo. They were happy with what it would rent for. If they did have to sell it, they were getting out, with their down payment, getting that back, things like that.
Yep.
And we're just moving towards that market. But understanding what your house is to you and your budget, and how much do you save by owning a house instead of renting? It's just the first step you can make.
Well, there's no such thing as saving money when you're renting, and there's no such thing as a rich renter.
Yep.
You and I have seen it time and time again. I get to look at all your financials, okay? I'm in the mortgage business. I'm going to see your bank statements. I'm going to see your 401k. I'm going to see your paychecks. I'm going to see your W-2s. I get to see it all, okay? And I don't run into people that accumulate wealth by renting properties. I run into people that accumulate wealth by owning properties. And when we run into a client that's coming to us and saying, I want to put $200,000 down on this house, they didn't get it by saving it in their 401k. They typically got it almost every time by another real estate transaction.
And this is what happened to people for, let's say that, the bubble, the meltdown, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A lot of people were stuck because they were able to pay their mortgage, but they bought for $250 and they were worth $220, and it took a while for that to reverse. That's not going to happen with us now. We might have some people that stay put because, wait a minute, my interest rate's 3%, or I got a 2.25% 15-year. They might stay put, but they've built equity.
Keep that house and rent it and buy another one.
But prices are rising, and even if the pace of the rising slows, they'll still be able to sell. So we won't have a neutral market. I think the bottom of the market was like 700 sales a month in Central Florida. And we probably got 2 times as many people here now in 2022 than we did in 2008 and 9.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we're expanding. This is a great place to live. Houses aren't going to go down in value, even if they fluctuate a little bit. You're going to see appreciation. Cleve didn't believe me on this. He doesn't think my numbers are right, but I showed numbers that the median sales price by the end of 2026 in Central Florida would be $640,000. He thinks that's an exaggeration. He thinks it'll be in the high fives or somewhere in the high fives.
Well,
is that right?
I might not be on the radio with you in 4 years. Sirius XM is probably going to buy me out for a couple million.
Oh, really?
But we can still talk. We'll still be talking. Yeah, we'll still be friends.
I don't know about that. But we write that down. I'm telling you that our median sales price will be in the 640s by the end of 2026. Why would you want to miss out on that opportunity?
Well, we are. I mean, think about it. We're not California, but we got the oceans. But we got a cool governor. We got low taxes. We got great weather. We don't have wildfires or earthquakes.
Nope.
Or
occasional tornado and hurricane.
Or just a crazy legislature telling us we can't have gasoline lawnmowers and stuff like that. But it's our cost of living is so much less. And okay, we don't have some mountainous views and we don't have wine country. I guess we do have a couple wineries around the state.
I can get a plane and I can fly over there.
Yeah, and take a vacation. Yeah.
Yep.
Airbnb there and then come back to reality. So we're gonna keep moving our price up. And COVID amplified that showed that Florida was a great place to live and not nearly as expensive as the rest of the country. And that's kind of rebalancing. And I haven't seen those numbers come out yet. I've talked about how we were number 22, the 22nd most expensive state and in the union. And I bet you we've moved to like number 14 or 15, but those numbers haven't come out yet.
Give us your number.
407-352-8118 for Loveland Properties.
Yep, but if you'd like to reach the Loan Arranger, get qualified for a mortgage, get a great deal on a mortgage, all you got to do is go to webringyouhome.com or call or text me at 407-250-9144. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger radio show.
And we are back on the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland alongside Bruce Woodburn, the Loan Arranger, helping you with all your financing needs. Bruce will help you out with that. You need to sell a house, buy a house, figure out how to do that process, coordinate selling one and moving into another one, rent your old house, become a landlord, get rich. I can help you with all that. And we're talking about that now. Got an email here, Bruce, asking about, are the builders giving any deals right now?
Yep, they are.
And what's funny is I've had some builders, they qualified those people to buy those homes when they started to build them 8 months ago at 4%.
Or 3.
And now they're coming in and the rates and the buyer doesn't qualify anymore. So I've had some buyers scoop up homes at the old contract price, because that contract price from 9 months ago is not what it is now.
Sure.
With that builder, I had one got one for $499. The new price would have been $560. So they're more negotiable, because builders don't like to lower their prices. It changes what's going on with their appraisals and all the homes they're building.
They lower the price now, and they got a house that's being finished that was started 9 months ago. Now that property won't appraise, so they don't like doing that.
So they try and make up for it and pay some closing costs for the buyer and things like that. So, but people can still call you and go shopping at new construction.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And if you're looking for semi-custom or custom, I've got some great builders that I'm working with right now that I can refer you to that will build you your home on your own lot, or they have lots available and you can build a home on. Let's face it, not everybody wants a resale home, and not everybody wants new construction track-built home. Track-built homes are almost always in HOAs, and a custom home is not necessarily going to be in an HOA and won't be as strict. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of these custom homes right now, Cleve. You couldn't push a wheelbarrow between two properties without scraping your knuckles.
Well, that's what people want, with a little bit of space. Now, and I'm seeing people knock down homes in areas you didn't see them knock down homes in.
Right.
I was driving past, I was on the north end of, I was on the edge of Maitland, and I saw somebody leveling a house. And they're probably going to build something there that's way more expensive than the houses around it. The houses around it were $500,000-$600,000.
Maitland's a pretty desirable place.
You can't get a builder to slow down and build you a little 1,500 square foot home.
No,
they're not going to want to talk to you unless their contract's probably $400,000 or more.
Well, that's as fate would have it. I have a great builder that I'm working with right now. I really like this group. They're very honest, very ethical, really cares about his customers. And if you're interested in buying a home that you can get into either in the high 3s or 4s, you let me know. And that could include your lot, depending on the type of lot that you want. And he's got several lots all the way from Palm Bay all the way up here into town. I've got some in Point Siena, Wedgefield. So if you're interested in that, just give the Loan Arranger a call, 407-250-9144, or go to webringyouhome.com, and we'll get you set up. But, that's an alternative, Cleve. Everybody needs an alternative.
Yep. And so the construction perm is where you're funding the loan. You guys appraise the plans and you're funding the loan. You get draws on that.
Yep. I give the builder and the client draws so you can complete the home. It's a one-time close. There's not two closings like most banks have. It makes it easy, simple, and then if rates are better when it's time, when the loan modifies, when the house is completed, we'll refinance it. If they're not, you're protected. You got a fixed rate loan.
Well, the amazing thing about CrossCountry is you can do that for FHA and VA, right?
I have FHA, VA, and conventional construction perm loans. So not many people can offer that.
That's ridiculous. That's just
I'll do
amazing.
A VA
you can do that.
construction perm up to $1.5 million.
Okay, because most like used to be the smaller community bank were the only ones doing those loans, and you had to have 20% down.
Absolutely.
Had to have it.
My conventional loan I'll do is for as little as 5% down. My conventional loan, 5% down, construction perm.
Wow.
On a construction perm. Okay,
Wow.
Like nobody does that. I do FHA, 3.5% down, VA, 0 down.
How much time do we have?
We got about 30 seconds.
Okay, when we come back, I want to talk to you more about Hometown Heroes.
Yes.
And what's going on with that.
Yes.
Because I heard one of your commercials the other day. It sounded really good, but I wanted to hear more details on that and how that's helping people out there.
Yep, we'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger Show. You can reach the Loan Arranger at 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. You can reach Cleve Loveland and his team at 407-352-8118. Stay tuned.
And we are back on the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger Show. I am Cleve, Loveland, Central Florida's voice of real estate, but doing this radio show for far too long, over 25 years. We didn't have a big quarter century celebration on that, Bruce.
We should do that.
We should do that. I think I'm going to do that in November and December, and invite all of our clients we've gotten from the radio show over the years. But it's my privilege. You know, I work 7 days a week selling real estate, and yes, you do mortgages 7 days a week. But I just love delivering news, real news, and from people that own real estate. I'm in the trenches. I'm not a guy who just writes about selling homes. I know what it takes to sell them, and it just I see what goes on, and I see what works, and I see what doesn't. And it's so funny because real estate is so personal. That's why you can. I'm sure there's an app out there that'll tell you how to sell your home.
I'm sure there is.
It's not going to take into account all of the emotions and what to do when somebody leaves a door unlocked and let the cat outside. When they're showing your house and all these things that come up, or how to negotiate an offer when the offer comes in $50,000 low. Is that somebody even want to respond to? What's your activity like? Things like that. So, but that's why, I see so many offers, Bruce. I'm seeing about 100 to 200 offers a month still on properties. And, out of that, we make the good ones work. But it's recognizing what's going to actually work and what's not going to work.
Well, you know what's working right now, Cleve?
What?
Hometown Heroes. So, I do a lot of down payment assistance because I like helping first-time homebuyers, okay? But here's the thing. Most people that want some type of down payment assistance, 9 out of 10 don't qualify. They don't meet the credit score requirements. They make too much money, or they can't find a house that fits within the parameters of that down payment assistance program. But Hometown Heroes is the first state-funded program that really does help our heroes. Now, heroes, veterans are included in that, and they have special privileges. You have law enforcement, you have EMTs and first responders, and you have teachers, and you have healthcare workers. If you are licensed full-time employee, you can get up to $25,000 towards your down payment and your closing costs.
Is this a Florida thing?
Well, there are some in a couple other states, but it's primarily a Florida thing. Yep.
But that's a nice little shot in the arm.
Well, not only that, most down payment assistance programs here locally would cap your income at somewhere between, and this is whole household income, be about $60,000. Okay. Now, Hometown Heroes goes up to 150% of the area median income, which is about $125,000, $123,000 worth of income. Now, it also allows you to have a non-occupying co-borrower. So let's just say I got a nurse and she makes $50,000, but she doesn't quite qualify to buy a $400,000 house based on her debt ratio. I can bring on a non-occupying co-borrower on this program. There isn't a down payment assistance program that I've ever seen that allows for a non-occupying co-borrower. None.
So mom or dad
could co-sign.
Aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa.
Right. And listen, you have to be a first-time home buyer, but you cannot have owned a primary residence within the last 3 years. However, there's some leeway to that, because if I got mom and dad and they live in Michigan and they're going to co-sign for their daughter that's a nurse here, and they own a home, well, that would disqualify you. But it doesn't on this program.
That's good.
I'm telling you.
It's common sense.
It makes sense. It's a great program. My team are experts on this program. I'm teaching classes to real estate agents and the general public on it on a regular basis. Go to webringyouhome.com to check my calendar out, and you can see where my classes are. If you are a real estate agent and you want more information on this program, or think you understand it but don't, I'm going to tell you something. We are experts at it. If you are a hero, I'm one of the sponsors of the K92.3 All-Star Jam. I will have a booth there, and we are going to be celebrating our heroes. If you have any questions about it, don't hesitate to give us a call or stop by my booth on September 4th at the K92.3 All-Star Jam. I will be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. But don't wait. Stop renting. It's the perfect time. Cleve, I was looking at this, and here's another way that you and I can reach out and help more people. So what do you think that the schools are struggling with right now? What do you think their main struggle is right now?
Discipline. They're not allowed to spank anybody.
No, they're not. That's a good one, but because they did when I was in school. I had my ear pulled and got paddled a few times, okay? But what do you think they're struggling with the most?
Good help.
That's right. They can't hire teachers.
Yeah.
They can't hire teachers. Yeah. So think about this. Let's just say that you are a principal of a school or a teacher, and you know that your school needs more teachers. Why not send the recruits that you're trying to recruit over to Cleve and I?
Yep.
Cleve's team will show them the community, and we'll hook them up with Hometown Heroes.
Yeah.
Now you got a tour guide to show you the community that shows you the houses that meet your price range, and you can attract teachers by helping them because this program will allow them to cover their closing costs and prepaid escrows and their down payment for that matter.
Yep.
So it makes no sense not to do it. Stop what you're doing right now. Pick up the phone. Cleve and I are available today. You can reach me at 407-250-9144 in Cleve.
407-352-8118 or lovelandreport.com. Bruce, I got an email here talking about when's the right time to adjust your price on a house.
Okay.
And this is what I do, and it's funny, I haven't had to do it in a long time, but since listings were selling within a week or two. But if a house is on the market for more than 2 to 3 weeks, I want to go show my seller what happened. Okay, you're a 4.3 with a pool listed for $499 and you didn't sell. How many people do we have come through the door? What was the feedback? Okay, we need to paint the purple bedroom. You need to fix your lawn. Your sod's dead. But who else sold at $499?
Right.
Not just in your neighborhood, but within a mile or two of you. This is the market, and this is what people don't understand. Nobody controls the market. The real estate market will tell you what's happening. And market value is what you walk away from the closing table with, not what people are asking. And that's what's going on right now. So we're going to have there's a reckoning coming. There's a, I don't know if it'd be a great resignation, but it'll be a great squeeze out as all these realtors out there that don't know what a market analysis is or don't know how to price a property or look a seller in the eye and say, hey guys, we tried this price. We can't get it. Reducing from $499 to $498 is not going to help. We need to go to $479.9 or $483.9. But the truth is, Bruce, whether it's $100,000 or $10 million, anywhere in the country, there's an absorption rate. And you figure out what that is. It's how many homes per week are being sold around you. And there's still sales happening around you. A lot of sales.
Absolutely, there's
a lot of sales. And it's just, so you got to watch that absorption rate. And if you didn't sell, I can almost track sometimes when we call and get feedback. We'll say, oh, we like that house. But we bought the one down the street because it was $10,000 less and had a 3-car garage, not a 2-car. And so, and that you lost a buyer. And this is what we're moving back into. We're back to 2017, 18, 19.
Where is a good, stable market where we should be?
And what were rates back then? The 4s?
Probably. I don't know.
3, 4 years ago.
2018?
Yeah, they're in the 4s, right?
Yeah,
somewhere
probably.
around there. So we're just barely above that. But here's what's interesting around the rest of the country. And I pulled this stat from an article on Fox Business. And it's, we are still, compared to 2019, there's 40% less homes on the market. Nationwide. So we're still a much tighter market than it was in 2019.
Well, that gives buyers a better opportunity.
Yeah.
We're the buy. Listen, you think about this, Cleve. The home buyer that was not a move-up buyer, because the move-up buyer made a ton of money when they sold, right?
Yep.
But the first-time home buyer couldn't get in the market in the last 3 years. They couldn't pay overprice. Okay, they couldn't make up the difference if they had to pay over ask price. They didn't have the money for it. Sellers weren't accepting FHA loans.
Yep.
They weren't accepting VA loans. They definitely weren't paying closing costs.
Yeah, that's
right?
All
of these things are now in your favor. So don't keep renting. Get the heck out of renting and stop throwing your money in the garbage.
2 great listings, Bruce.
What's
I've
that?
got one in Castleberry, 2 bedrooms,
Nice.
2 baths, 1,300 square feet with a 1-car garage, corner lot. It's getting a brand new roof and nice little screen porch, great little fenced yard, and that's going to be $293,000.
Great starter home.
Then I've got one in right on the edge of Orlando, Maitland, off Maitland Boulevard, or the Maitland Parkway, and that one is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,600 square feet, big screen porch, big final fenced yard, all tile throughout the entire home. And that one is at $332,900.
Okay, good.
So
well,
those are great starter homes.
Those are 2 affordable homes that you could probably get into and pay pretty close to what you're paying for rent right now. So even if it's not your dream home, it's a starter home. And listen, my starter homes were always starter homes, and then they became my rental homes, and that's what makes you money. So you don't have to look at the first home as being your last home you ever buy. Use it to step up. It's a leapfrog program, and Cleve and I can help you with that. 407-250-9144 for the Loan Arranger. 407-250-9144. You can reach me there, or you can go directly to my website at webringyouhome.com. Webringyouhome.com. Cleve?
407-352-8118. Remember, you look up and down the street there, one of those rooftops in the past 50 years. My family's probably helped sell it, buy it, or manage it.
Yep. So we've got a couple of things going on. We saw that the prices dropped by a little over 1% from June to July in Orlando. But that's the big news that grabs people's attention. They think, okay, the market's dropping.
Yeah, that's the bloody headline.
That's the bloody headline. But the reality of it, and here's the reason I say don't wait around to buy. The reality is that home prices, if you look at a different statistic, because there's always something that will balance things out, home prices in Central Florida are up between 18 and 20.1% from this time last year. They're up. Okay, so is it really time to sit back and wait? The cost of waiting will cost you thousands, tens of thousands. Think about this, Cleve. What's your average 2-bedroom, 2-bath going for in this area?
Rent?
Yep.
$2,000.
$2,000 to $2,100.
All these new apartment complexes, they look really cool. There's some neat architecture out there. I see some new. I'm like, oh, that's a new apartment complex. Where'd that come from?
They make it sweet.
They're full, and they're like my stepson's moving out of town, but he was paying rent. He was paying for a 2-bedroom. He was paying $2,300, and they were going to raise him to $26,000, but he bought a house.
Nuts.
So
you're either going to pay $25,000 a year to rent and have nothing to show for it, or you get into a home, and even if it only went up 5%, you're going to make $20,000 on a $400,000 house. It's a no-brainer. I want to talk about something else that to me is a little frightening right now, and it's called the IRS. You know who the IRS is? Those are the people that you don't want knocking on your door. Mm-hmm. So the IRS just hired 87,000 agents to audit. Now, not to do your tax, not to review your tax returns because they're behind.
They're 2 years behind.
They're 2 years behind on doing tax returns, but they want to audit. Now, they say they're going after the big business, but that doesn't happen. The big business billionaires are laughing at this because they've got Arthur Andersen or KPMG.
Deloitte, yeah, they've got two different big companies double checking their tax returns.
They got major companies that are making sure that they're following tax code, and they're living by the tax code. But it's the middle America that they're going to go after. Now, listen, they are telling the job. You can read it online under the IRS code. They are hiring 87,000 agents that will be armed. They are working 50 hours a week. They have to be on call 24/7, and they have to be prepared to use deadly force.
That's the ad?
It's not an ad. It's the description of this job in the IRS website. They have to be prepared to use deadly force. Now, you go look it up. Matter of fact, I'll have my assistant pull it up, and they'll give you the direct link to the IRS. I was shocked that they actually said it. They didn't just think it or allude to it. So they actually said it.
And I know you're alluding to your self-employed borrowers that drive the F-150 or F-250.
For sure they are.
And show $1 million in revenue and that they make $110,000 a year.
Or show $1 million in revenue and make $20,000 per year.
Not going to be getting away with that.
So listen, here's the thing, guys. There are programs that I have called bank statement programs to accommodate you. But I'm just telling you because a lot of my listeners out there are good, solid, self-employed people, but you use as much tax write-offs as you possibly can. I'm just telling you, your federal government is coming after you. So be prepared. Let's get your book straightened out. Make sure you're always paying your appropriate amount of taxes. Don't commingle your personal things with your business. I see a lot of you guys doing that. Stop doing that. Don't come in. Don't say, oh yeah, everything goes through my business. Well, that's an audit waiting to happen, and I don't want you to get shot for it. So God forbid something like that happens, but I'm going to get you the code. Matter of fact, I'm going to have it on my website. I'll get my assistant to put it on the website where you can go on and see what the IRS is doing to the American public right now. The middle America, self-employed person. I'm very worked up about this. As you can tell, I don't like it at all.
You want a good tax write-off? guess what that is? That rental, that leapfrog we're talking about.
Absolutely.
So we'll go talk more about that in the last segment. 407-352 for Loveland Properties. We'd love to help you with anything to do with real estate.
So we left off the last four digits. That's 407-352-8118 or lovelandreport.com.
A little dyslexic.
Or the Loan Arranger at 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger radio show. My name is Bruce Woodburn. They call me the Loan Arranger. Been in the mortgage business for 33 years, and it's just an honor to be on the radio with Cleve Loveland. He's been in the real estate business for 30 years, been on the radio, the longest running real estate
in the history
radio
of
show ever.
Yep.
And I'll tell you something great. If you want a great real estate agent, pick up the phone, give Cleve and his team a call. I'm telling you something, his buyer's agents are over the top. His talent on being able to list your home properly and sell it for the most possible money at the quickest time, he can do it. He's got the talent to do it.
Thanks,
He's got
Bruce.
the experience to do it. Absolutely.
Well, it's funny. Realtors, if you're listening, you just rescued another deal.
Yep.
Real quick, I want to talk about this. Major mega bank. Can't stand them. I mean, there's never anything better to do with 5 gallons of gas and pour it on their doorstep. And light it on fire. Wanted a client for a major, almost a super jumbo loan.
Well, it's $2 million transaction.
Yep. And they wanted him to liquidate retirement funds and deposit them in his accounts to cover the loan.
Correct.
Asinine.
Correct.
Totally. I haven't heard of something.
But here's the thing. I get a call. I got a call from your buyer's agent. Introduced me to this guy. Wonderful family. Moving from California. They own 9 homes. Okay. Buying a $2 million home here. And I talked to him. He goes, listen, Bruce, I like what you have to say. I'd love to do business with you. But this bank, the biggest bank that's got horses and carriages, has already fully pre-approved me. I'm ready to go. The appraisal's being ordered. Everything's already pre-approved. I'm done. I'm ready to go. I don't want to start over. I said, no problem. You need any help? I'm here. A week and a half, 2 weeks later, I get a phone call. Yeah, wasn't quite what they thought. So they limit on the amount of properties you can have. They wanted him to liquidate a bunch of money, which would have cost him $300,000+ in taxes.
It's insane.
It was absolutely unbelievable. But I'm telling you, you think your bank is your best friend, your neighbor next door and your best friend? It's not. They don't do what they say they're going to do. They're horrible. You want a great lender. Yes, I'm rescuing this transaction, and it's an honor to have this client back. But it was funny because I went over the terms of the loan, and my rate, quite frankly, was a little higher than theirs. But I said, hey, listen, Mr. Client, you can offer the lowest possible rate, but if you're never going to close the transaction, what
doesn't
difference?
matter, yeah.
Doesn't make any difference. I can offer a rate.
You get it done. That's the
I
thing.
get it done, and my rate's great. I mean, there's no complaint about it, but he was offered this special rate that I looked at and went, that seems a little lower than the national average, and it was. It's only because you can't really get it.
Can't really get it.
Can't really get it. So if you have questions, if you're in that situation, you want an honest lender, you want somebody that's going to get the job done, you call me. I will take care of that. 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. That's webringyouhome.com. If you'd like to talk to Cleve, he's always available to give you the guidance. Cleve, how do they reach you?
407-352-8118 or lovelandreport.com. One thing I want to mention real quick before the end of the show, landlords, if you're having trouble, rents are going up. I am raising all of my rents and I'm keeping up with the market. Now, you got a good tenant that threatens to move out and looks around. You don't want to lose them. Sometimes you make a little bit of an allowance for that.
Yep, little allowance
but
for it.
It is an investment property. And let me save you a bunch of money. Don't ever rent to your family or your friends.
No,
that will cost you double. Like you'll be calling me to sell the home, going, oh my God, I don't know why I ever did this. But we will manage the property for you, so it is basically like one of the missiles for the Army. Fire it and forget about it.
Yep.
And it's going to be semi-passive income for you. That's what real estate should be. It should not be something you're worried about, you're stressed about, always bugging you, always getting hit with expenses, always chasing down rent or late fees. Call Loveland Properties at 407-352-8118. And realtors, if you want your loans to close, make sure you got good buyers in the car. call Bruce.
Yep, we'll get them taken care of. We'll get them pre-approved. You can call the Loan Arranger at 407-250-9144 or go directly to my website at webringyouhome.com. Cleve and I really appreciate you listening to our show. God bless each and every one of you. Enjoy your Saturday and tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock for the Loan Arranger show. Have a great weekend.